I'd like to share my story about Khmer Rouge, and I thought that my story would help compared to the current situation that we have around during the pandemic. We all have ups and downs in life, and also we got used to watching sad news, horrific story about hardship, people living everywhere around the world. Those hardships include hungers, and people got killed, people got robbed. Sad story all over the places. We tend to get numb to all of these stories in the headlines and everything. These stories, right now, the story that we have been watching tend to hit us. The story that we've seen, we tend to get numb. Yeah, it tends to be numb, and we have no feeling inside the story until those hardship hits us. But what defines a hardship is that we may think that during the pandemic, people everywhere got locked down, city got locked down. People got pressure. You lose freedom, people lose freedom. People cannot go to the store and cannot buy their dog food, or cannot cut their hair, cannot go out to the beach. People are crying. I don't judge those people. Why? Because we live in America, land of opportunity and freedom. Those kind of hardship we rarely experience that. We only watch in the news. And again, we got numb. We don't really have the actual feeling until the story is within us, until we experience once. And right now, everyone experiences a hardship. Right? We got locked down, no job, everything. And we tend to think that this is the end of the world. So the purpose of sharing my story is telling my story is to compare. No matter how hard it is, no matter how hungry we are, all sorts of stories that we've been watching for years, those stories cannot compare to the story during Cambodian communist regime that killed 1/4 of Cambodian population. The story is 100 times harder than, more tragic than what we've seen in the movies or in headline news. So I thought I would like to share my story. Back for almost 10 years ago, actually my job is actually mostly work in an IT field. So I supported a company that doing publishing company for Pearson, McGraw-Hill, all those companies. During that time, we have one of the employees who was working on the math projects. Her name was Dina. I should not have to say her last name, but her name was Dina. She was the project manager for a math project. The project had been finished until it took 3 months to finish the project and put into the PDF file. It was the end of the project, and it's supposed to be delivered in 3 days. And we had the party. At night they're supposed to have a party, and she was in a hurry, and then she compiled everything into a folder. Unfortunately, after she was in a hurry and she compiled into a folder, and she deleted the entire project, the entire folder project. Not only that she deleted, she also emptied the recycle bin. And Lord, after that she did realize she deleted the entire project and emptied it. she came to me crying so hard, and she told me, I'm done. And what happened, Dina? I delete my projects, and she was crying like feel like just like the end of the world. And in that time, of course, I get into I was working on the data recovery as well. To me, because back then there was no encryption, so recovering files is not a big issue. But I didn't tell her. I knew that I should be able to recover the data, recover the project files, but I did not tell her. So I talked to her and I told her that, Dina, calm down, okay? Before you say anything, okay, you don't need to cry, okay? It's not the end of the world. I said, no, but I'm done, I'm my project. And he said, calm down, okay? So sit down, let me tell you my story. So my story begins. I told her that my story was my sister's last breath before she passed away. And she looked at me and said, what kind of story is that? Okay, listen, okay? Okay, during the Khmer Rouge, it was in the Khmer Rouge, and we were sent into the concentration region. My sister was around 8 years old, and I was around 11 or 12 years old. So it was in the village, forced child labor. We were forced to work when it comes to digging ditches and dam by hand. The children working from dawn to dark. And when it came to rice plantation, cutting rice harvest, we were forced to do exactly forced child labor, minimum 12 hours a day. So what we were giving was, here is a bowl of boiling rice. So the actual rice is only a spoonful. It's all water. That's it. But for 12 hours. So during that time, at the end of the Khmer Rouge, was a quarter of our population either Khmer Rouge killed them or died from starvation and died from disease and malnutrition. So during that time, my sister was kind of weak. She did not look physically weak, but mentally she was weak. So we were put into working in a rice field, harvesting rice. They have they put it into working 1 meter apart. We doing like this, cut and harvest, 1.5 meter. So she got pushed around. She was working very slow because she was not physically capable at all. And the other kid was pushing her around. And luckily I was near her, and I was a strong kid. And I'll tell the story why I was strong, why I was not hungry like other kids. That's a different story. So when the other kid pushed on, I told them, stop pushing my sister. I'll help her. So I did help her. And she was crying. And that moment, I was not mad at her, but I was young. Why you keep crying? Don't let them bully you. Work, okay? Crying is not a solution. Why you keep crying like that? And she told me, oh brother, I'm sorry. I know I try very hard. I don't know why I'm so weak. I can't. I just could not do like other people. So during the break time, they gave us only that 10-minute breaks, 10-minute break. That's it. It was 10 minutes, and then during lunch for 20 minutes. So we went sit down. It was so hot, about 100 degrees, sometimes 110 degrees. I sat down to her, same thing. Brother, no, brother, they pushed me, and she was crying. And I said that, you stop crying, okay? And then she stopped crying, and then she said, she was stopped crying, and then her face looked like this. I looked at her face, and then I realized that, and then I thought always that she was really physically not capable. She wiped her tear, and then all of a sudden I realized that I should not yell at her. I went down there and hugged her. That, brother, I'm sorry. I don't really want to cry, but I don't know why I can't do it. You know, so I realized that she was not pretending. She was really not capable at all. And I just felt bad for Yamna. I said, I'm sorry, sister. I don't mean to yell at you. I want you to do good. I know I'm not mad at you, brother. You helped me a lot. I'm just sorry and give you a hard time. So no, it's not a hard time. And I was trying to teach her, try her to be strong, but she was not able. Then, because I was older than her, and she was like 8 years old, so the Khmer Rouge was sent us to the older kids like me, got sent to what we call children mobile team, far away from the village. I think about 10 kilometers, 10 or 15 kilometers. It was in a remote area, that place in jungles and cold and mosquitoes, a lot of malaria. So we got sent to the older kids, like at 12 years old and up to 14 or something like that. And then I told her, when I heard the news that they sent me away from her, I started to realize that she's gonna be helpless without me. And then when she heard that I would be sent far away from her, she again cried and said, brother, I don't know what to do when you leave me, and when you got sent and people's gonna bully me, people are gonna, oh sister, I'm sorry. I wish I can stay with you, but you gotta be strong, okay? You gotta be strong. Yeah, I try my best. The day that they sent me, the day that I was leaving her, she was standing, the image that I see her, I saw that her image is still stuck in my head. She was standing, look at me, she was crying, and she waved at me, saying, brother, come back. That last moment, that in my mind, what would I do? How could I help her? She's gonna be helpless, people's gonna push her around again. So they sent her, she was waving at me until they ended out of my sight. Then we move on. So they sent us to the children mobile team that they had to cut trees and bushes, all those stuff. So what I did, I was always down there. The children mobile team, they gave us at least better. Eating was better. Although it's not a lot about this bowl, but it was actual rice, not boiling rice. At least maybe almost full of rice in here with this small bowl, and that's it. But in the village, they give us boiling rice, full but hot water. The actual rice is one spoonful, that's it. 2 times a day and we work for 12 hours plus days, children. So when I was there, I thought of her. So I saved half, maybe a quarter of it. So rice, I was able to dry it. And at night I sneak out to catch like a small bird and also fish in the water, and I dried it and put in saving, hoping someday I'm gonna sneak out and come to the village. So I think after about 3 months or 3 weeks or a month or so, there were kids sending to the same children mobile team as I was working there. There was a boy who came down to me. My sister came to me and said that your sister want to see you. I don't think she's gonna live any longer. I think she's gonna die soon. She really want to see you. At that moment, I was really shocked. So what happened to her? I want to know what happened. You see her, but she really want to see you the last time, okay? And in that moment, I thought of her and said, "Oh, without me, she would not be able to make it." So I waited until it was getting dark. I wrapped the rice that I dried and then dried fish, and I took off when it was getting a little dark, you know. As I walk about, it was in a remote area with all trees and jungles. As I walked about 3 or 5 kilometers, about half an hour or so, I heard the sound. You know what that is? That was a flock of wolves. So back then, children got eaten by wolves a lot of them. If you were not in group and kill, wolf would attack and eat. So as I heard that voice, I found a tree called Tu. That's the name of the tree, Cambodian. I quickly climb up the tree. Not even 5 minutes, they surrounded me. I think about 15 or 20 of them surrounded me. If I didn't climb up fast enough, I was done. I waited until I was getting almost dawn, when the sun started to rise, and the wolf went away. And then I hurried, ran to the village. So they abandoned her. They put her in a small hut, in a small house. And when I opened the door, as I opened the door, the sound of the fly came out of that room. The moment I opened the door, I could smell. It was her body, twice bigger than she was before. Almost 2-3 times bigger. Her body, the entire body was swollen, just like a dead body for 7 or 15 days, like that. Her face was swollen big, and then the pus out of the body, and the fly around her body. And as I got in that room, I would not believe, I could not hold my tears, and then I could not recognize her at all. And then I came down saying her name was Kia. Kia, brother, come back. I'm sorry, I loved you. And she opened her eye. She opened her eyes slowly. Oh, brother, I'm happy you're back. I'm happy, I'm hungry. Thank you. Do you have anything for me to eat? Said, yes, I have rice and everything. I have rice, I'm gonna boil, dry rice, I'm gonna boil for you, okay? I have fish. And she could barely open her mouth. She was happy, and she was smiling with tears, and I could feel that she was so hungry because they just left her there. And I asked her, did they give you anything to eat? And no, they left me there. And it was typical back then. If you were sick, they just let you die by yourself. So I boiled rice. So I boiled rice and then I let it cool down a little and took a spoon of them and put her mouth. She could barely open her mouth. As I put in her mouth, she told me, "Brother, it tastes good. Thank you so much." And her tear came down saying, "That's my last wish. My last wish. The boiling rice tastes so good. Thank you, brother. That's all I want. I'm glad you can fulfill my dream." That was just the rice. And she felt like just she was came back to life, and her eyes opened and her mouth just like sucked into the boiling rice just a little bit of time. She kept on saying that, "Brother, it tastes so good. I love you. Thank you so much. I was so hungry." So actually she could not finish all of it because her body and type was swollen, you know. But and as she was eating, her tear came down. So that moment, that's the image I have. That's the image. That I can't, I can't take it out of my head. Every time I'm telling the same story, I saw her image in front of me. She was just, her dream, her last breath was just to have a bowl of rice to eat. So I could not stay in too long because I had to sneak out. And I told her, "Sister, I'm sorry I cannot stay for so long. I hope you feel better." And she told me, "Don't worry, brother. I'm happy. That's my last wish. And thank you for being my brother. You always help me. You're always around me when I need you." So I left. So I left her. So as I went back to the site, the children enrollment team. Later on, other people told me that she passed away, like the next day, and I didn't know where she was buried. They technically just throw the body somewhere away. So as Dina listened to my story, and she was crying so hard, she was crying, and then she told me, "Thank you so much for telling me your story. You really just like a doctor to cure my psychology or something like that. I know why you're telling me your story. For the project means nothing to me now. Even I lose my job, I have my profession, I can find a new job." And I told her, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, I told her, in America, we have so much freedom, we have everything. We never experience any hardship. We never. Even we think that at one level we think that we have certain hardship. We think that that's it. That's all we have. That's the end of our life or something like that. But there are so many people that their life is 100 times harder. Just like during the Khmer Rouge. Nothing in the human, there's no other place in the world or in the human history that has been so cruel as the Khmer Rouge, the communist regime. You die slowly. Each one, I have to watch my mom, my dad, each one of them died slowly. So she told me like, so Dina was happy. She said, "Okay, I told her, you can go to, you enjoy the party, you could go with them. So she thanked me for telling the story, and then she enjoyed the party. So when she came back, and I told her, Dina, here's your file. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I knew that I was able to recover, but I didn't tell you. Now you have your file. She was so happy, and then she told me this is a lesson. Whenever I have any hardship, I will remember your story. So that's my story. I hope that if you like this movie, if you like this story, share. And I hope that it help a lot of people during the hardship. Even my people, Cambodian people who went through all of these, people tend to forget the past. We have to bring in the past. So whenever in my entire life, whenever I have hardship, current hardship, whether I was working so hard or I went to school, I worked so many hours, I compare to the past, it means nothing. So what I currently face is, even during this pandemic, if I were to be locked down for the entire year, I have no complaint. Why? Because I have justification, because I've been through all of these. So I have experienced all the hardship. So for those who never have the real hardship, it's real hard because they have no feeling at all until they hit one. So I hope that this story will help others. Thank you for watching.